Hello, everybody. Good afternoon and welcome to the United Stand. Erling Haaland is Manchester United's striker transfer priority in this summer transfer window, and there is major excitement around the Manchester United fan base that this story indicates a real strength position from Manchester United to go and bring in one of the best strikers in world football at the moment, a good mate of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's. It shows United's desire, ambition and passion to become one of the best clubs in the world again, with one of the best up-and-coming world-class talents in world football at the moment, Erling Haaland. I'll read the quote for you. Manchester United have settled on Erling Haaland as their centre-forward priority in the transfer market. Solskjaer and John Murtaugh, the new director of football, mutually agree that Haaland is the ideal long-term replacement for Romelu Lukaku. Haaland is believed to be demanding a weekly salary of £350,000, and United believe Solskjaer's relationship with Haaland and the player's talent override the issue of dealing with Mino Raiola. Can I just say, if Manchester United sign Erling Haaland, no Manchester United fan can have any regret, disappointment, frustration, anger. This is a world-class player we're talking about who's going to get better and better and better. But, and you knew there was a but coming, there is a but coming. I don't believe this story. I don't know why it's being put out there. I can't see this happening. I spoke about this on Saturday. I spoke to somebody on Saturday afternoon who said it won't happen. It's not going to happen. It benefits United for people to think it's going to happen, but it won't happen. And there's numerous reasons. The big one that comes out to me, first of all, is where are we going to get over £100 million to buy Erling Haaland from? That's the one. Are we going to pull it out our arse? I mean, like, Manchester United didn't get Sancho done last year when we had better fluidity in relation to revenue than we've got a year later with no fans in the ground. So, one, where are we going to get this money to sign Erling Haaland? Two, where is this long-term relationship, long-term future of Erling Haaland coming from? Haaland himself has mentioned it. Raiola has mentioned it. They are not planning on being anywhere for 10 years. The plan is to do what Zlatan did. They will go 3 years here, 3 years there, 3 years there, 3 years there. Money, 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 money. And also, what's changed from 18 months ago when we should have got Erling Haaland from Salzburg, but we backed out because we didn't like that Mino Raiola wanted to insert a release clause, which actually kicks in at Dortmund next summer. Do you think Mino Raiola is going to let Manchester United sign Erling Haaland for 120 million quid and then say, yeah, we're not putting a release clause in there? I mean, how do you sell Erling? If you're Mino Raiola, how do you sell Erling Haaland in 3 years' time when he's been at Manchester United for 3 years and he's cost 120 million? Who's going to find 150, 120? This is not the sort of deal that Manchester United, one, can do, and two, it makes no sense from Riola's point of view. I do not dispute that Erling Haaland and Ole get on really well, and I do not dispute that, as I said on Saturday, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is obsessed with signing Erling Haaland, and I do not dispute personally that what a signing he would be. But this isn't even, I won't believe it till he's holding the shirt up. I don't believe it. I just genuinely don't believe it. And you know what? Maybe I'm taunting the club. In fact, you know what? I'll admit it. I am taunting the club. I'm saying you at Manchester United cannot pull this deal off. And to pull it off, you're going to have to make me look wrong. And anybody else who disagrees with me, I don't believe you can pull this deal off. So in my mind, it's not going to happen. So there's your challenge. Go and prove us wrong. Go and prove you can do this deal. But I absolutely think we're just wasting our time on a story here. And look, it's coming from the Manchester Evening News. It's coming from the Manchester United chief correspondent, who has definitely got links in at Manchester United. Now, whether he's getting this info from United or he's getting it from somewhere else, I dispute this information. I do not think we're going to sign Erling Haaland. Of course it benefits Manchester United that we're linked to Erling Haaland. Of course it does. They love all the social media interaction. They love the fact that you know, it will stir up positivity at a time where they need positivity. I mean, look, if you're running Manchester United Football Club, you've just won 1-0 yesterday. Some of the fan base isn't even happy with that. Of course, the Monday put a story out about Erling Haaland. Of course it generates positivity and excitement. Don't ever think that in any part of your life, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, anywhere, football, politics, don't ever think that things don't go out to manipulate your mood. This is a positive news story. I feel positive about it. I think Erling Haaland would be fantastic. But I'm dragged down to earth by reality that I can't even get my head around how we do this deal. How do we do this deal? We've been told for the last 3 or 4 years that, net spends are 60 million quid when COVID doesn't exist. And suddenly we're going to spend 120 million on a striker that many people would argue we don't even need. And let's not forget, that's a very good point. If we spent 120 million pounds on Erling Haaland, we're not buying anybody else. We're not buying a centre-back. We're not buying a centre defensive midfielder. Same trick with different player. I know, and end up nobody coming, says Mini19. Well, look, let's not pretend that Manchester United are scared of being linked to a player all summer and not buying them, Sancho. So it's not like they don't want to be linked to Haaland because they might not get him and it's embarrassing. That's been happening for 15 years. So Manchester United won't be bothered about being linked to a player. They won't come out and deny it. But I don't. I mean, I took a few notes. I don't see how this happens. I mean, look, it says in the story that Manchester United feel that Haaland's relationship with Ollie and his talent override their bad relationship with Raiola. Well, it can override it, whatever you think. But I'll tell you what, if we did get Haaland, within the first year, he'll be talking about going to Real Madrid through his agent, because we've seen that with Pogba. That's what Raiola does. His star client is never quiet. It's through him. He'll be gobbing off about going somewhere within no time. So I don't think it would be a bump. I think it would be a very bumpy ride. And look, let's not forget, I back Ollie. A lot of you back Ollie. Some people don't. But do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a work in progress as a Manchester United manager and he hasn't even established the way we're going to play yet, do you think he's an experienced enough coach to deal with Mino Raiola and Erling Haaland over the next 3 years when there's a bad result, Riolo's saying, well, I don't know whether this is him. I don't think... I think Ollie's obsession for Erling Haaland and his relationship with him makes him want him. I don't know whether he could manage 3 years of Erling Haaland at Man United and what would be happening with Mino Raiola when we have bad results and when he wants to get him out. So I think that Man United would be a bit naive doing that. Obviously, point 2 is where we're going to get 120 million quid from. I don't know. I don't know where we're going to get. I can't. I think that's a big stumbling block with the Glazers. Where are they going to get 120 million quid from? It's not a good move for him, and it's not a good move for us as well. I mean, that's the third point I said. It's not a good move for Erling Haaland. If he knows football, this is a money move for Erling Haaland, and it's a relationship move because he gets on with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's not a good move. As a Manchester United fan, it's a great move, Erling. Come to Manchester United. But as a football fan, Manchester City suits him better. PSG probably suits him better. Juventus suits him better. Real Madrid suits him better. Why do all those clubs suit him better? Because they are playing in leagues where little tweaks make them very, very good teams. I can't say we desperately need a centre defensive midfielder, a right winger and a centre back, and then say, but if you just give us a striker, we're going to be fine. I don't understand why Manchester United, and this article says that, Man United's priority striker is Erling Haaland. They want a centre-back as well, but maybe the money won't be there if they go for Erling Haaland. There's never any mention of a centre defensive midfielder. And I'm surprised by this because many of you mention it, I mention it, but we don't see the mainstream media mentioning it. We don't see our ex-great players mentioning it. And we don't hear rumbles of Manchester United considering it. I can't believe for the life of me that Manchester United don't think they need a centre defensive midfielder. It's the most obvious position I've seen for weeks that we need. So Erling Haaland's not the priority for me. He's a fantastic player, but he's not the priority. And because we're not dealing with priorities, I don't think it's a good move for Haaland, because where's the service coming from when we don't create chances for it? I said it last night, I've said it many times before. I think the number 9 shirt for Manchester United is a graveyard shift. I don't care whether you've got Erling Haaland, Josh King, Cavani, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lewandowski. I don't care who our number 9 is. They can't produce magic from nothing. We don't create chances, and we're not going to do that until we sort our midfield and defence out and right wing out. So I don't think it's a good move for Haaland to come to United. I don't think he'll be scoring 40 goals in the Premier League in a United team without, good service. What are your thoughts on Gravenberch from Ajax? He's just what we need and he has potential. Good player, Pizzo, but he's also a Raiola client. Mark, you're one of a kind. You are eloquent, articulate and a magical presence. You definitely belong to the realm of wisdom. Keep shining, says Rational Spirituality. Same trick with different player. We know that, so Mini, thank you very much. Please smash a like on the video, by the way. And also, one of the other considerations. So the reasons are, competitors. We haven't even got a free run at this. Dortmund don't even want to sell him this summer. So, yes, Dortmund do need to raise some money this summer. But I think that for me, Jadon Sancho is if you want a percentage, and I don't like doing percentages, but if you're asking me what's the percentage chance out of 100 of getting Haaland, what's the percentage chance of getting Jadon Sancho, I think we're about 80% Sancho, 20% Erling Haaland. So, but also competition. Manchester United don't deal well with competition. Like we were in a 2-horse race for Haaland before, we lost. We lost to Dortmund. We were in a 2-horse race for Bellingham, we lost. We're in a 1-horse race for Sancho, we finished last. So we're not very good at, look, Maguire, we got 1-horse race. Wan-Bissaka, 1-horse race. Bruno Fernandes, 1-horse race. When we have to compete with people, we don't tend to do very well. The last time I remember us competing with somebody was Alexis Sanchez, and we basically just chucked ridiculous amounts of money to win it. So maybe we could do that now. But there are competitors for Erling Haaland. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Chelsea, PSG, Juventus will probably enter the fray. Maybe Man City are going to enter the fray. I don't see how Man United win that race unless they do something that terrifies me. Unless they do something that terrifies me and they do an Alexis Sanchez where they chuck everything at the deal, like ridiculous transfer fee, ridiculous money, and it's all or nothing on Erling Haaland. Well, many of you would be very excited by that. We've just sat everybody else down. And whilst I would be excited by it, I'd be terrified by it because I'd be like, oh my God, we've just bet the family silver on Erling Haaland, who is a very good player. But if you think Man United, well, I'll say this to you. Are Manchester United one player away from winning the title? Are they one player away from being the best club in England? Are they one player away from winning the Champions League? God, no. We're probably 3 or 4, maybe 5. So if we spend everything we've got on Erling Haaland, I think this could cripple us. I really do, because you buy Erling Haaland, everyone's excited, including me. In a year's time, we've got a world-class striker, but we've got no service. And Riola's already realised this is a bad move, and he's already rumbling about other people. In a couple of years, we might have lost Erling Haaland and bankrupted ourselves on the deal that didn't work in the first place. So to do this deal, we've got to do something that the Glazers have never done. Not even Sir Alex Ferguson got this level of backing. The closest thing was Pogba with Mourinho. To do this deal, you would have to spend world transfer record for Manchester United, get nothing else because everything would go on Haaland. And is that enough with our team how it is? And for me, it isn't. So I just think that Manchester United need to wake up and smell the coffee, really. Are we building a football club, or are we just going for the biggest signing of the summer to make us look good again, which we've tried before and it didn't work? Fortunately, as I was told at the weekend, and I think as I feel here now, I don't believe this story. I don't. I know it's coming from a credible outlet, and I know that there's a lot of noise about Haaland, and I've had people speaking to me today saying, look, you know what? There is talk of Manchester United going for Haaland. And I've said, look, there was a lot of talk of us going for De Ligt. People were saying it was a done deal. He's come out in the last couple of weeks and said Man United were never in for me. So I'm fully aware that Manchester United can be very close to a deal and be further away than anybody. So look, I would love Erling Haaland at Manchester United. I want to reiterate that. What a player he is. But I don't know how we can afford it. I don't know how we think it's a long-term deal, because it won't be. I mean, this talk of a long-term relationship, a long-term future, never going to happen with Erling Haaland. 2-3 years max, he's gone. And within that time, you're going to get a lot of disruption, because that's what Raiola does. Can't afford it. Very disruptive, not long-term. Competitors are in the race as well. Not a good move for Haaland because our team's not built and we won't provide him with service, and not a good move for us because our team's not built and we need other areas first. So lots and lots of reasons for it not to happen. Reason for it to happen: Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's obsessed with him and he wants him. So, you know, balance it up. For me, there's a big list of reasons why it won't happen, but there's also Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that definitely does want him, and that's categorical. I think we all know that anyway. If Haaland ends up at City, they are winning the league for the next few seasons, says Tony. I think they're winning it anyway. We're not stopping that by getting Erling Haaland. We need to build a team. You know, it's a bit like, you know what it is? It's a bit like, I don't know, there's a Formula One, for Mercedes, right? There's these tyres that when they put them onto their fantastic car, it's going to make them a little bit faster. And then you've got us. We're not even bloody Ferrari. We're definitely not even Sauber. We're not that. We're probably Joe's garage round the road. We've got a go-kart. So we spend everything we've got and we mortgage up Joe's garage.co.uk. We take a massive loan. We buy these brilliant tyres. We chuck them on our go-kart. It makes us go a little bit faster, but we're still a go-kart. Man City just go and buy a different set of tyres, but they're still way faster than us. You know, and I hope that analogy works quite well, because all we're doing, if Haaland goes to City, yes, he makes them a bit better. But if Haaland comes to United, he doesn't make us better than City. They'll just still go and get some other tyres that, with their brilliant car that makes them great. We're just going to put an amazing set of tyres on a go-kart. We need to build a car. We need to build a car before we get the tyres. We've got to stop thinking about, you know, stopping City doing it. The best way to do that is to build a football club, to build a football team. Every year we go into the summer, all these expectations, and it always seems to go down to the last week when we end up with the 8th choice. 0 expectations, says Akram. If we can only get one, definitely got to be top class CDM. That will make loads of difference. Any extra will be my dream, says Mini19. We paid 80 million up front for Harry, so we've backed Ollie before with his top target. So I hope they back him again and get Haaland, says Jermaine Dacry. But Jermaine, I mean, look, everybody's going to have their opinion on it, aren't they? And I think universally, there's not a United fan out there that wouldn't want Erling Haaland. But I do think there is a movement within our fan base of intelligence where people look at this now and go, look, what a player Erling Haaland is. What a player he is. But is that what we need? Is that what we need? And I will add this even further. I would say if you're offering me Erling Haaland for 120 million, or you're offering me Declan Rice and Varane for 120 million, I'm taking Rice and Varane every day of the week, without no hesitation. Sometimes I get asked things and I'll think about it for a few seconds, sometimes even 15. But if you're asking me, do I want Erling Haaland for 120 million, or do I want Rice and Varane, or even a Rice and Koundé, or even a Rice and a Pau Torres, I'm going to go with the two players that are positions that we desperately need. If you're asking me, do I want Erling Haaland for 120 million, or do I want Jadon Sancho for 70 and a centre-back, I'm taking Jadon Sancho and the centre-back over Erling Haaland. So that's where my position is. There will be people out there saying, nah, I don't want the CDM and the centre-back. I don't want the right winger and the centre-back. I just want Erling Haaland. Your name's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but I don't want that. And I think that Manchester United Football Club should take into consideration what fans are saying, because the fans put everybody on the pedestal that they are. The fans pay the wages of the players, of the manager. They put the Glazers where they are. They put Ed Woodward where they are. I know that they feel that fans are below them, and they do. Their behaviour towards fans is that we are hysterical. But I do think that they should listen to the fans, because I feel that the fans have a level of intelligence about the realistic situation United are in. It's very rare that you would get a fan base saying, look, Erling Haaland's one of the best players in the world, but he's not for us now. We want to build a team. You know, going back to the video this morning, a lot of United fans are not happy that we're winning because they don't like the way we're playing. So if you're saying to United, talking to United fans, well, if we get a centre-back and we get a CDM, we'll play better football, which means we'll score more goals anyway. I want that. I want to build a team before we start putting the icing on the cake. And I think that actually that's a more efficient use of Manchester United's money anyway. Does it concern you, Ollie, that Ollie, despite working with the squad day in, day out, still prioritises Haaland over any other positions, says Julian S. It's a difficult one. I mean, I do sympathise with Ollie. I've got something else to talk to you about. Man United potentially selling 5 players this summer. We'll talk about who they are in a minute. It's a difficult one because I don't think it's like... I think some people would be offensive and say, well, you've got anybody with a brain who would want a CDM, a centre-back and a right winger before a striker. You know, Ollie's a bit like, your mum playing Football Manager. You know, they're just going to go for a player that they've heard of and spend the whole budget on them. Oh, Haaland, I've heard he's good. 120 million. Yeah, we've got no defence, we've got no midfield and we've got a right winger. Yeah, but I've heard of that Haaland. Yeah, spend everything on him. I don't think Solskjaer's managing like that. I mean, this is a guy who Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows very, very well. He trained him at Mulder. And, you know, to be honest, most people's mum do know Erling Haaland's one of the best players in the world. So there's no doubting he's a fantastic signing. I don't think Solskjaer's signing him because he thinks Erling Haaland... Well, I hope he's not signing him because he thinks buying Erling Haaland will make you win the title. What if you sign Erling Haaland and he breaks his leg and he's out for 3 months at the start of the season? Well, you've just spent your whole budget on a player that's not there. There's always that risk. But you know what? I don't believe this story. If I'm absolutely honest, I don't think it reflects badly on Ollie because I do not think it's the truth. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is an intelligent guy. And Robert McCormack says if we lose Cavani, we must buy someone deadly. Well, I think Robert's right. I think we are definitely looking at not using Cavani, so we've got to bring somebody in. But I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking at this deal. I don't think he is. I think he knows it's unrealistic. I think he knows it's impossible, and I think he would like the player. Of course he would, but he knows what Manchester United is. He knows there's not a budget for that. He knows he needs other things. I don't think it does any harm that Manchester United would like Erling Haaland. It doesn't do anybody any harm. Riola will love it because it gives him, Man United are interested in now, bump the price up. So, and look, as well, let's not forget, I don't think it's impossible that Mino Raiola would let Erling Haaland come to United. I've heard some people saying, well, Haaland, Raiola has said in the last 18 months that he wouldn't want any of his players to play at Manchester United. That's quite a damning thing to say, but money talks and opinions change. I think if we said to Mino Raiola, we will let Pogba go if you get us Erling Haaland, I think Mino Raiola would probably say, all right, okay, let's see what we can do. I still want masses of money. And I think United would go, yeah, we can't do that. So I don't think Mino Raiola wouldn't bring Erling Haaland to Manchester United. I don't think that's off the cards. I just think that it's not a good deal. It's not a good deal for anybody in the current situation that Manchester United are in. If we had a centre defensive midfielder and we had a right winger, I would consider it a deal probably worth doing, but I just think you've got to build a team first. Should get a centre-back, a CDM and a right winger this summer. Can go for Haaland next summer. Funny how we can't buy players but pay out dividends when no one else did, says Fergus. I'd rather have Harry Kane than Haaland. Well, Harry Kane was mentioned in the same article, to be fair, and Harry Kane is not good. I mean, Harry Kane would be more expensive than Erling Haaland. I'd rather go for Erling Haaland than Harry Kane, to be honest with you, because Harry Kane would cost more money and he's older, and there is a player that is injury prone. So I don't think Manchester United wouldn't look at Harry Kane. I just don't think it's a realistic one. But it's interesting. I mean, I just want to run a bit of a snap poll in the live comments. Yes or no? Do you genuinely think Manchester United can pull this deal off? Just put yes or no in the live comments. Malp says that Kane is injury prone. I think the bottom line for me is that I don't think for 1 second that Manchester United can pull this deal off. I think it's different to Jadon Sancho. I think Sancho, I felt that we could do it. But what makes me laugh is that some United fans, they get drawn into a news article, but they forget what goes on at our football club. We are forever disappointed. And as I said, there's a big part of me that's taunting the club here. You know, come on then. If you're really in for Erling Haaland, go and do it. Because I'm telling you right now, right here, you are not competent. You are not competent enough. Or more importantly, you are not ambitious enough to go and get Erling Haaland. So you won't get him. And if you do get him, you'll do it in such a stupid way that you'll do another Alexis Sanchez. You'll chuck so much money at it that no sane club will do. And you'll end up embarrassing yourself in a couple of years when he walks out of the club because Raiola forces a move and we end up losing huge amounts of money on the deal. So you're not capable of doing a deal like this. Should Solskjaer be better when dealing with the board concerning transfers, or is this beyond what to expect from a manager? Love the show, says Lars. I think, look, as I've said before, Solskjaer wanted Haaland 18 months ago from Salzburg. That would have been a cheap, good deal. He wanted Bellingham from Birmingham, who is now playing first-team football in the Champions League for Dortmund. He wanted him, he didn't get him. He wanted a centre-back in the summer, he didn't get it. He wanted Sancho in the summer, he didn't get it. You can't, he bought Bruno in. You can't criticise the players that Ollie puts forward to the board. The board just don't deliver. Do you think Manchester United will fully 100% go for Ronaldo if he becomes available? Says just PA. Here's something controversial for you. I think Ronaldo is more likely than Erling Haaland. And people will say, you've got no chance with Ronaldo. Well, we have, because I think Ronaldo wants to leave Juventus. That's my feeling. I think Juventus want Paul Pogba. And I think, well, hold on a minute. Ronaldo wants to leave Juventus. And Pogba wants to go to Juventus. United don't want to lose Pogba without getting something very, very good. Mainly a good fee is what they want. And here is a deal that could be done. Now, it would be very, very difficult to do, but I think it's more likely than Erling Haaland to Manchester United, which is how unlikely I think Erling Haaland to Manchester United is. I think that, Ronaldo, if he's going to leave, he's probably going to go back to a club that he's already been at, maybe Madrid. Hi, Mark. Can you wish my mate Luke a happy birthday, please? Says Toby Lyons. There you go. Happy birthday, Luke. And most people said no. And Illa United says, I get sick of this news. And I think after Sancho last year, everybody knows what I feel about Manchester United and transfers. I have become a new member, a fully signed up member of that. I'll believe it when they're holding the shirt up. I think up until last summer, I was always a little bit glass half full. I was always a little bit ambitious about our transfers. I always wanted to believe. But my, oh my. I mean, look, we did a lot of videos about Sancho last summer, and there was a lot of stuff I was being told about Sancho. I mean, look, even Romano will verify that. Christian Falk will verify it. Even British journalists like Simon Stone and people like that, they were reporting on how close this deal was for Sancho. There was that feeling being put out there that United were going to get this deal done. So close you could always almost touch it. And when they don't pull that deal off, you're like, that's it. Until a player's holding a shirt up now, do you think I'm really going to play your games of excitement around a signing? I don't think you can do. So what I choose to do now is I choose to taunt the club. I choose to say you're not capable of getting Erling Haaland. You're not capable of getting Jadon Sancho. And hopefully they'll prove us wrong. But yeah, I'm a member of... I'm with Warren. Welcome to the only when they're holding up the shirt club, Mark. Exactly. Maybe I don't think there is a club, but maybe we should start a club. Only when they're holding up the shirt club. Founded on the United stand. Sent a super chat before, didn't get read out. Would it be possible for you to read it, please, says Wazim. Well, why didn't you just tell me what it was? Because it's gone. That's why it's not been read. Wazim. Why don't you just... You've just done a super chat to tell me about a super chat that I didn't read out that has now gone off the screen. I mean, I can't believe it, Wazim. Why don't you just tell me what the bloody super chat was? I can try and find it, but it's not bloody easy. Oh, Wazim. Wazim, why not just put it there? Right, I should be able to find it now. I've just gone into the back system. Let's see if we can find it for Wazim. Here it is. Here we go. Found it, Wazim. He says we are four first team players away from challenging, but we need a squad. So 7 signings to give us needed depth. Do I think we can do it? No, mate. Sad, but it's our reality. Raid League 1 in France. There we go. And Steve Locke says always his cousin coming through, Albert Haaland, and we should get a centre back, a CDM, and a right winger. We've done that one, and we've done that one as well. Okay, that's a good point from Wazim. I personally think we're 3 or 4 players away. Fully enough, though, there was a story in the Mirror today talking about Manchester United looking to sell 4 players this summer transfer window. I actually think it should be a lot more, because when I mentioned these names to you, Lingard, Dalot, Jones, Pereira, well, what about Matic? What about Mata? What about one of the goalkeepers? I think Manchester United should be looking... Well, we say it every summer, but they should be looking to get rid of 6 or 7 players, I think. Welcome to the Members Club Maxed Out. Thank you very much for joining the United Stand Members Club. I think I might change the name to the I'll believe it when they're holding up the shirt club, actually. Mark, is this for real? Just joined in. Haaland will cost 150 million. No way we're spending that. That's budget for 2 windows. Josh King is coming. Angie, you've probably just summarised the show. I don't believe it. Wazim in and Woodward out. Lots of people are saying that. I would take Wazim, definitely. But yeah, I mean, look, a little bit of positive news. There are Italian reports that Lazio are looking at taking Pereira for a cut price, and that Pereira will lower his wage demands. Look, just get him out of the club. I mean, if Man United think Pereira's worth 20 million, they're having a laugh. He's probably worth about 8. Just get him out of the club. Dalot, again, I think we can get rid of him. I think we'll want a good price for Dalot, because we spent 20 million not too long ago. Phil Jones, anywhere. Lingard will get a good price for as well. And of course, what about Pogba? Even if Ollie got Bellingham, he wouldn't play him. Dortmund are appealing because they trust the youth and play them. Ahmed can barely get game time, says Chris. Well, Chris, I'm actually going to go with you on that, Chris. Do you think if we'd signed Bellingham, he would be playing first team football for United? He's playing in the Champions League and in the Bundesliga as a first teamer for Dortmund this season. So yeah, I think that Manchester United need to wake up and smell the coffee on that as well. We're a club that's good for youth players. Well, are we? Where's this game time for Diallo then? Where's this? Would Bellingham be playing? No, he wouldn't. I mean, we can't even give Van der Beek game time, and we spent 35 million on him, and he's not a teenager. So Bellingham would be nowhere near United's first team. He's probably made the right move, to be fair. But United wanted him. That's what I wasn't really talking about whether we'd played him. We did want him. Hi Mark, what do you think of Tony as a possible target this transfer window? His stats this season are unbelievable. Says Juicy Fruit. And what would you think of McTominay as a striker? Says Sino. God, no. I mean, I don't know what I would say about that. It's a bit like when people say, what do you think about Lindelof as a centre defensive midfielder? What do you think about converting Dan James to a right back? And you know what I think about all these things? If I could spontaneously throw up, I would. Because we're Manchester United. We're Manchester United, not Millwall. We're Manchester United. We're not Stoke. We're Manchester United. We're not any other championship side that doesn't really have many options. Why should Manchester United be turning Lindelof into a CDM or Dan James into a right back or Scott McTominay into a centre forward? Does that sort of a discussion not just play into the Glazers' hands? That we as United fans are trying to convert players that don't play in a position into a different position? Like, we should expect the money this club makes and the dividends our owners take out of the club. We should expect, if you're going to take money out of the club, the first team should be in a good position. And it's not in a good position, is it? I mean, I look at that team yesterday, as I've said before. I can categorically tell you 5 players that are not good enough next season for us to probably even get second. Dan James is not good enough. That McFred isn't good enough. One of those centre-backs isn't good enough. And controversially, at the moment, I have got concerns about another player that I'm not going to name because I think it just starts up a conversation. But I might have to mention it in the next few weeks. I've got a major concern. So that's 5 players. And we're going to go and buy a striker, which actually isn't one of the positions I have a massive problem with. I thought Greenwood did well. We've got Martial. I mean, that's another factor of Haaland. You'd have to sell somebody, which I just don't think we can at the moment. And it's definitely not Bruno, who's the player I've got concerns about at the moment. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer shares those concerns as well. But yeah. No, I've already named Fred, Damien. But look, what I would say is I'm more than happy that we are. I've got no. Sometimes you get linked to a player, Josh King. I'm trying to think of Ben White, and it actually depresses you. Like, oh my God, why Tyrone Mings? No, I've got no negativity about Manchester United being linked to Erling Haaland. I've just got no confidence, or I just don't believe it. I don't believe it at all, and I cannot and will not tell people how to think. And if you want to believe it, that's up to you. But I actually think for your own health and your own sanity in many ways, I just wouldn't believe this Erling Haaland story. I think if you're going to, because we're going to be linked to him. We're going to be linked to him. There's going to be more and more stories about Erling Haaland and Manchester United. This is going to be delit on Red Bull. It's going to be absolutely huge. And for the next 3 or 4 months, we're in an Erling Haaland race. But I don't believe that we are. So, fasten your seatbelts. Prepare to, fall into the trap or prepare to be real. I think a lot of our fans will start to believe this is going to happen. It won't. It can't. We're not competent enough to do that. And it probably shouldn't happen anyway because money should be spent better elsewhere. But you know what? I wouldn't say it's totally impossible. As I said at the weekend, would it really surprise you if Manchester United went and spent everything they've got and borrowed more to bring Erling Haaland in and got nothing else? Would it really surprise you if we did something like that? And would you think that was competent? I wouldn't. I think it would be absolutely the biggest risk we've probably made in my lifetime, to go and spend everything you've got on a striker that actually isn't really a problem. It is something we need, but it's not the biggest problem in the team. But now, even if we want to do it, I don't think we can do it. And as I said, to repeat people who've joined in a bit late, why can't we do this deal? Where's 120 million coming from? Why do we think he'd come here and stay long term? Because he won't. He'd be here for 2 or 3 years. So why would you spend that amount of money on a player that's not going to be here for very long anyway? There will be competitors for this deal. And as we know, when there's competitors, we sink. And I don't think it's a good move for him. honestly, I'm over the moon that United are winning at the moment, and I can't wait for the game on Thursday. But I don't think this is a good move. Erling Haaland wants to play somewhere where he's getting 6-7 chances a game. Why would you come to a place where you might not get 6 or 7 chances a month? And I don't think it's a good move for United either, because as we know, I think we need other positions. So that's 5 strong reasons why I don't think we'll even get anywhere near him. The one good reason is that Ollie wants him, but he's the manager. I just don't think we can do it. Ash Little, always enjoy your updates, Mark. Keep it up. Thanks, pal. Wan-Bissaka is quality, Mark. Give him a decent right winger in front of him and it will improve things. Sure as Rashford. What does Aaron Wan-Bissaka have? Says Aram. Hey, mate, you know what? On Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I thought when we bought him for the first 8 months, he looked absolutely amazing. I think he ended last season not very well. This season, he's been up and down. I think he's had some average games, he's had some bad games, and he's had some fantastic games. I do think if we sort that right-hand side out, we'll see better from Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka gets a lot of stick at the moment. I think positionally, he's been exposed this season. We've seen it on the back post. He gets pulled out of position a lot. And also, Luke Shaw's on a different level to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And fullbacks always get compared. You look at what Liverpool have got. They have Trent and Robertson. They're quite similar. At Manchester United, Luke Shaw's just on a different planet to Wan-Bissaka at the moment. And that doesn't mean Wan-Bissaka's a bad player. I certainly think that Wan-Bissaka is probably a bit like Harry Maguire at right back, really. It's like they probably get a bit too much stick. But there's definitely potential there to be Manchester United first teamers for a long time to come. So I'd see what happens with him. Mason technically better than Rashford, so Aaron Wan-Bissaka's got no excuse, as Jordan Brown. And also, as Dougie says, do you think Wan-Bissaka's being overplayed? I think a lot of players are being overplayed at the moment. Do you think Aaron Wan-Bissaka's getting overplayed? Yeah, Dougie, I think he probably is. And I think we need a quick centre-back before everyone else, as Brandon Stevens. Well, United are looking at a centre-back. Yeah. We need to be smart in this window, otherwise next season is a waste of time. We're talking about Rashford. No, I mean, I'm one of the few who was very impressed with Rashford yesterday. He didn't play well, but he was clearly injured, and I think a Manchester United player that puts on a United shirt in a very important game, injured, and plays for the shirts, is that not the sort of character you want? I don't think Rashford's playing anywhere near his level at the moment, but I'm going to cut Rashford a bit of slack because he's clearly injured and yet he's putting a shirt on. And yet there's rumours that certain people who could have put a shirt on for United are saying, no, I'm not quite right, even though the physios are saying that they are. So I applaud Rashford for playing yesterday. I don't think he played particularly well, but for me, he's not fit anyway. So I think Marcus Rashford's a very important player for Manchester United. Is Marcus Rashford good enough for United to win a title? Yes. Is he good enough for us to win a Champions League? Yes. But, if we had a squad like Manchester City, would Marcus Rashford be on the bench sometimes? Yes, he would. And that's the level you've got to get to. You've got to have, 4 or 5 Marcus Rashfords in your squad where you can rotate. And at the moment, as we've seen with Bruno and Wan-Bissaka and a few others, they just play every minute they can that there is, because we don't have anywhere near good enough players to play in their place. Have you noticed we are playing a flat 4-4-2 lately? Scott and Fred play box to box-ish, and Bruno is more a false 9 than a 10, says Zachary. I haven't noticed it. I think we probably played it more yesterday because it was West Ham, but we definitely don't play like that against Manchester City or AC Milan in midweek. I think United's position is a 4-2-3-1. It probably modifies a little bit depending on the opposition. I think yesterday, Bruno was playing higher, but he came deep a lot as well to get the ball. So I think 4-2-3-1 is the best description, but I don't think you're miles off. Luke Shaw needs to be England's starting left back, says Ashley. You know what? I would be over the moon if Luke Shaw didn't go as part of the England squad. I think as many players that don't go on international duty is a big advantage. If somebody said to me, Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw don't go on international duty and get 2 weeks off, or do you let them go? I'd be like, no, don't let them go. I know it's great for them and it's great for us to watch them, but for Manchester United, it'd be great for them to have 2 weeks off. Imagine City getting Haaland and Grealish. Angie, they could do that. Anyway, look, thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. I am playing FIFA Career Mode in an hour, less than an hour, on That's Football, so you can join me there for that. Have a good evening. I hope you're doing well. Go wherever you want to go with this story. Believe it, don't believe it. It's up to you. It's out there. It's from a decent source. I just don't believe it. And I'm now part of I'll believe it when they're holding up the shirt club. Speak to you all in a bit. Thanks for watching. A last super chat coming in. Buy Pulisic right wing and turn Lindelof into a CDM, says Minas. And Jack Lynch says, if we get a centre-back and a CDM or a right winger, then maybe swap Martial for Haaland plus cash deal. Then that would be a good summer, says Jack Lynch. Well, swap deals are something I would love to see happen. I mean, I wish we'd spoke about that earlier. I'd love to see swap deals happening more because I think you don't have to worry about outlay then, but I don't think they will happen. Thanks for watching. Speak to you in a bit. Smash the like on video.